Neuroscientists studied every major art form to see what happens in the brain when people create. Painting, artists, dancers, sculpturists. And then they studied musicians. And here's what they found. Only musicians light up their entire brain, every part, all at once. Music isn't just a hobby or a passion. It's the most complete neurological workout a human being can perform. And if you play an instrument, you're doing it. If we haven't met before, I'm EP Archer, and I help committed adults improve their quality of life with music. And today, I want to make the case with research for why what you're doing matters more than you've been giving yourself credit for. This is bigger than just the violin. So we have to find a place in our brains and in our hearts to stop feeling guilty for spending time, for taking time apart from our family, our work, our lives. It's actually of paramount importance to our work, to our family, and to our lives and to ourselves to make time for something that not only enhances us neurologically, but connects with our emotion and allows our body to function better. So people in your life might not completely understand that, but this episode is all about being able to have those conversations with them, being able to let them know what lights you up is actually also lighting up your brain at the same time. And let's be honest, right here, right now, when you play your instrument and when you connect to it, something happens for you that doesn't happen anywhere else or in any other way. It's not something that you can replicate with any other activity. And so it is not just an activity, it's a connection. It connects you to who you are and how you feel and what you're about. Some days we drag ourselves to the instrument or the practice room and we leave a completely different person. Some days we don't know what to play or focus on, and that one haunting melody changes how we feel about the entire day or week, and we're humming it. And I know when my kids practice, I hear their melodies echoing through the halls of our home, and I feel differently just when they are practicing, and it motivates me too. So this doesn't have to just be about you as well. It can be a family affair. I have some students whose kiddos are taking lessons on an instrument or on their voice or for songwriting, and having more than one person in your family unit doing this, or a roommate or a partner, can totally change it for you. So the musician's brain is playing with a structural outline, right? There's some left brain action, but there's also right brain action. It's not just structural, functional, or linear. It's neuroplasticity in real time. Your brain, as you create these new pathways to connect, let's say for violin, the left hand finger action with the right hand bow hold, bow technique, stroke to create that beautiful tone, that is literally creating a new neural pathway. And I describe this when I'm helping people to practice correctly so that they can feel more confident and feel better about what they're doing. It's like you're running through a jungle, right? And there's tons of plants and there's animals and snakes, the whole bit, but you are trying to clear a path and it is overgrown. Now, if you take that machete and you just hack in a 360 circle all the way around, or go right, then go left, there's not a clear path. But when people are creating a path, they do it in one clear, steady motion. They stay in the same direction until they get to the next destination. Maybe it's to the riverbed, or maybe it's to a clearing. But when we do that with music, we're doing something so that it feels the same, looks the same, and sounds the same each time. And those connectors and those keys can be revolutionary because it can kind of sound the same, but it doesn't feel the same. Or it can feel the same, but it sounds off. And when we connect those, we are creating neural pathways in our brain, and they get wider and wider and wider. So if you just picture that path through your musical jungle getting wider and easier to traverse, that's correct practice. And that is rewiring your brain. If you're somebody who deals with stress, which most of us in this world today are, you have higher cortisol in your body, or even possibly anxiety, active music making reduces cortisol. It releases emotion, it decreases anxiety, and this is a measurable data researched thing, not just an anecdote. When you find your sound on the violin and it resonates in your bones, it doesn't stay in the practice room. It changes your vibration, your oxidation, and how you're able to show up for the rest of your day and the rest of your life. Music is this communication that has no words. And of course, there are songs with lyrics, but you know that anyone from any community or any culture can sit in a room together with music and experience not just a musical work being created, not just the practical act of music happening, but that connection of communication beyond words, that feeling beyond words, that story and that journey. Because we're processing not just the notes, it's our emotion, it's our truth, it's who we are. And these adult musicians that keep up with growing that and keep their brains young and their curiosity alive and establishing new neural pathways and releasing stress and lowering cortisol and upping oxidation, it's like a fountain of youth. And when you start really committing and buying into this process, the identity layer activates. And that's when you can stop calling yourself someone who takes a lesson or has joined a violin group or is in an orchestra, and you can call yourself a musician, a violinist, and how that feels in your body shifts how you move through the world, how you move through the notes, how you move through your practice. That is not small. That is foundational, and that is connective, and it's affirming. And I cannot wait for you to feel that way if you don't already. And if you do, I cannot wait for you to connect to other people that are ready to feel that way, that already feel that way or have felt that way and are moving to the next plane of growth, the next vibrato, the next shift, the next beautiful melody or their own composition. You see, playing violin in a serious way is not something you need to justify. You don't have to explain it to anyone why you need this time, this instrument, or this practice. But if you did want to let them know on these amazing secrets of why, on the science and on the data, that you know what happens inside you when music connects. And I think anyone, even people that don't play an instrument, don't sing, anyone that appreciates music at all can understand that connection and that feeling. And the data and the science are unshakable. It's pointing you towards something that your life genuinely needs. And I don't want you to live without, because I cannot imagine my life without music. There is no life for me without music. It is my lifeblood. It is my connection. It is my source of empowerment and my source of health. So how can you apply this today? Just schedule 10 minutes, not to practice correctly, not to set a goal for a technique, but to let all that go for 10 minutes of your time, or if that's the only time you have, let it go for today. Just play. Make sound. Feel how you feel. Smile. Open up. If something goes wonky, laugh about it and do it again, and remember how you feel and remember the connection you're making in your brain. Notice what happens to your body before and after. Trust this process. Because when you stop treating violin as something to get good at or to level up with, and start treating it as the magical moments that it creates and the knowledge that it makes you more of yourself and more present for everything in your life that means something, everything changes. You practice differently. You listen differently. You show up differently, because this is bigger than the violin. It was never just about violin or playing an instrument. If you're a committed adult who wants to be in a community that takes this seriously, the music, the growth, and your whole life around it shifting and getting better, then check out Violin Unlocked, home of the somatic resonance violin method. If you're over 30, playing the violin, tired of battling tone, having zero confidence, and going it alone with lessons, YouTube tutorials, and books that never quite get you there, Music Rebels is opening a new cohort specifically for adults just like you, dedicated to transforming sound, connection, and expression on the violin. You won't find our unique system anywhere else. Registration is limited so we can serve you at the highest level with proven results, real support, and the best time you've had with your instrument yet.